Hi everyone in Japan. I hope everyone is well and are enjoying the races this year.
Yeah, cheers Max. Hello viewers, Super GT here. We've got a good challenge for you on Gran Turismo Sport.
Let's have fun competing together in Suzuka on Gran Turismo.
And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and follow me on Insta and Twitter, of course. Right, anyway, getting on with the video. Hello viewers. We have a new challenge on Gran Turismo Sport. Beating this man and beating this man. The Red Bull drivers beat the pro. Yada yada yada. Let's get on with it. Let's have a look what this is all about.
My name is Max Verstappen and this is my lap at Suzuka for Red Bull Beat the Pro.
Thanks Max. Let's go and have a look at his lap then. So since Super Formula around Suzuka, just a time trial. So I had a look at his lap here. And yeah, let's just say that he's a noob. I reckon Max Verstappen, you can see there goes wide. Max Verstappen would definitely be a BS rated driver. He's got some work to do, but then again, he probably only played this for about 4 minutes and gave up. Probably didn't really care about this too much. Last chicane, track limits, didn't abuse them as much as you can. Get good, Max. Get good, mate. And across the line. 39.3, which is, well, we'll find out. Is it beatable? Probably. It looked it.
Lovely.
He says lovely, but it wasn't. Over to Alex Albon, number 23.
Hi, my name's Alex Albon, we're at Suzuka and this is Red Bull Beat the Pro.
Alex Albon, isn't your name Super GT? Anyway, let's have a look at his lap then. Nice and tidy through turns 1 and 2, then into the S's. Let's have a gander how he's doing. Now I'm not sure these guys really play this game a huge amount. I'm pretty sure they don't. In fact, on that website page it says that Albon hasn't played Gran Turismo since 2013 or something, which I know is a lie because I play it all the time. And Max, I'm pretty sure he doesn't play it. He's more of an iRacing boy. There you go. So Alex, a little bit more tidy at the exit of Tidgney 2 compared to Max. A little bit of an overshoot, you could say, into the hairpin. Let's whip it around slightly into spoon. Okay, looking alright. It's hard to know exactly how good it is until we get out there ourselves. And then out of spoon towards 130R. Easy flat in these cars. You say to the left actually there to minimise track distance. Braking just before 100 or just after 100. No, just before 100. And then coming up to the line, does he stay to the right? Yeah, he does. He understands that. A 38.8. Oh, get wrecked, Max Verstappen fans. Alex Albon is quicker. So my lap time was a 138.874. Subscribe to Super GT. Alright then, it's my turn to try and put these guys to shame. See how this challenge works. Now, I tried to follow their ghosts, but you can't. They're not even on the leaderboard, which is a bit lazy. You can't even follow their actual ghosts. So Max is what was it, a 39.3, 39.2, and Alex 38.8, 874. So first lap here. This is my genuine first lap, and of course I did just watch their lap, so I have a rough idea of what I'm doing. Plus years of experience, you could also say. Tidgney 2 there, a little bit wide, but I think you do need to run a little bit wide. Well, beyond the red and white curve anyway. Into the hairpin. Down to first gear. This is where you can lose or gain a lot of time on the exit there. Into spoon. Not really carrying as much speed as I would like. And took a while, took an eternity to make that second apex there. And then down into 130R. Don't need to go all the way out that wide. Keep it to the left to minimise track distance. So, well, this is just my journey, you know. And I don't abuse track limits there. This is my journey of improving my lap time, because you're never going to get your best lap time on your first lap, are you? It's a 140.0, which is, well, not that great, but it was my first lap. Having a look at the leaderboard, at the time of posting, it put me 274th in the world. So people getting down into the low 137s. So I was just trying to gauge what sort of time I should be able to get here And judging by this, maybe a mid to low 138, which would be quicker than both of the F1 drivers. So let's have a look here. This is my second lap then. Let's see if we can end their careers and resign them to the history books. Will we have to whip out the Nico Rosberg meme with the explosions? Well, I hope so, because that's the whole idea of this challenge, to try to beat them. Max does say on that intro page video thing to basically not go too hard on them because they haven't really played too much Gran Turismo. But I don't care, Max. I'm going to end your career, mate. And, well, I hope I can anyway. We've got 0.7 of a second to shave off, which we should be able to do as we head into the hairpin. And, oh, you see there, the back end kicking out as we over rev it from first and second gear into Spoon. Could have abused the inside a bit more there. Spoon really, really difficult to get dead right. I got it sort of average there. That was maybe a 5 out of 10 how I went through there just there. But there's certainly more speed you can carry through that corner into the final chicane, and you really do have to abuse the limits here. And I'm slowly winding up my abuse of that corner as we come up to the finish line, and it's a 139.2. So Max Verstappen's career, he's only 22, 23, but sorry mate, it's already over. So now we turn our attentions to Mr. Alex Albon. He's been having a tough time this year, and can we pile on to his misery by beating him on GT Sport? Now this will be the final nail in the coffin for his career, I would have thought. If he's on the edge right now of his Red Bull seat, then surely getting beaten by, well, himself on GT Sport it's just going to be the final nail in the coffin for the Alex Albon career. So we're nice and tidy there. We've gone purple. We're 0.0123 up at this point of the lap, but there's certainly more time to be gained. Short shifting up to second, then up into third on the exit of the hairpin to minimise the wheel spin and therefore time loss. Having a quick look behind. Coming up to Spoon, we can carry more speed through here. Braking a bit later, using the curve, powering out to the outside, and coming back for that second apex. That was a bit better. That was maybe a 7 out of 10 compared to the 5 we did on the last lap. Or was it? Maybe because I'm losing time here. Actually no, I've gained time. We are nearly half a second up on a 39.2. We could reach our 38.8 here. Into the final chicane. Can we abuse it better than we did last time? That's semi-good abuse. That's pretty decent abuse on the second apex. And is Alex Albon's career going to be over? We crossed the line. It's a 138.8. And there it is. Confirmation of the end of Alex Albon's career. He had a good run. He had a good run, but it's come to an end. All good things must come to an end, my friend. And I'm so sorry to be the one to do it to you. But it had to happen at some point. Okay, so Red Bull Racing, Max Verstappen, Alex Albon. Yeah, no sweat, mate. No sweat at all. But to be fair, I'm not sure how much they really cared or bothered with this challenge. If you look at their videos to show you the runs, they only did their times on their second lap. They may well have done practice runs before that, but I don't know. I don't know how seriously they took this. They're not on the leaderboard. You can't race against their ghosts. It seems like a bit of a lazy addition, but it's something, isn't it? Something is better than nothing, I suppose. But there you go. We beat them. We've got a 138.8, but as we said earlier, we could probably go and beat that, getting at least a mid 38 or a low 38. If not, why not a 37? Dip to those 37s. So let's try and set some laps here and go about beating these other guys on the leaderboards. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure that they put much effort into this this time trial. I think Max, he didn't look exactly the happiest of guys in his intro video, did he? I think he's like, yeah, whatever, just let me get some laps done, let me just get the hell out of here, go back on iRacing. But there you go. I'm sure he'd be good given time, because it is quite weird on this game, getting used to the non-linear throttle and just the quirkiness of track limits and all those sorts of random malarkeys, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, coming up into 130R, look at this lap. We are nearly half a second up on 38.8. Braking just before the 100. Carrying the speed in across the first apex. Abusing the second. And driving to the line. We keep to the right hand side. You can shave off a half a tenth, maybe a tenth. It's a 38.1. Okay. So I reckon based on that we could definitely do a 37. We're not very far off. So we're going to collect our cash. That put us 30th in the world at the time of doing it, which is probably a lot worse now. And Key there doing a 37.9. I reckon I could match a 37.9. But what we're going to do before we have a look, before we try that, we're going to have a look at the world's fastest time at the time of recording. And see if we can pick up any tips. So turn 1 and 2, just so tidy, and that's going to be the theme I think here. Just perfect lines. You see they're keeping the throttle on, but also a lot of coasting. Mid-turn, just to keep the car settled. And through here, flat out, short shifting. That is very easy to lift through Dunlop. For this guy to get flat out through here, flat out. And then braking just as you meet the curb on the left, Degner 2. Nice and tidy. It's just really smooth, not really pushing too much. Well, he is obviously pushing mentally, but the car doesn't look like it's being pushed. It's so smooth. On the exit, a bit of the rear end kicking out there as he shifts up from second to third. Minimising track distance here on the run round to Spoon, braking on the right hand side, just at the start of the green Astro. And that's just absolutely perfect. It's so nailed, he's hooked up completely. On the power nicely on the exit onto the back straight. We're going to whip it forward, not real speed, and turning left into 130R, keeping it to the left to minimise track distance, braking for the 100, down to second gear, back to third for stability over the curb, getting on the power early over the curb, and then keeping to the right hand side of course on the run to the line. He did a 137.3. That is 8 tenths quicker than what I have here with the 38.1, but I know that I can go quicker. I can get a 37.9 maybe. So it took us a couple of laps to get down to a 38.4, and a little bit later, lap 10, get our first penalty, having to serve that of course, a little bit later on in the lap, and then we progress around now onto lap number 12. We began to work out a good line through turn 1 and 2, through the hairpin as well. This is a really easy point to lose a lot of time if you just don't get your timings right of your gear shifts, and of course if you just get on the power a little bit too early whilst you're still steering, the car will want to just oversteer on the way out. Through Spoon as well, just a really difficult corner. It's just so hard to get dead right, and the annoying thing about it is that it's most of the way around the lap, so you can easily bottle it there when you're on a good one. Just trying to push a little bit too hard there, trying to get the full throttle through Dunlop. You have to get the entry right, otherwise you will be paying for it on the exit. A little bit better there. Did have a hint of a lifter though on the way in, and you're going to still lose a bit of time there as you go up the hill towards Degner 1, flat out. And you see I've got the line a bit better now. It's only taken me to lap 15 to get that. But you see the splits there. I gained 1.5 tenths on split 2, on sector 2. That shows you that well, there's 1.5 tenths in my lap, which I could definitely improve on, which would be at 37, near enough, 37.9. But it's really difficult for me to just carry that through all the way through to the end of the race, and seemingly have these mental blocks. And on the exit there of turn 3, of the final corner. I don't know why I said turn 3. Improving, but only by, well, barely anything. Got another penalty. You see the consistency I was having. I was getting consistent low 38s, but it just wasn't quite enough to beat the 38 barrier, getting to a 37. Just pushing there a little bit too much, and that's when I was on a good lap as well, which was doubly frustrating. So the annoying thing here, right, is that we have the penalty to serve, and I have to serve it on this lap. So this lap is now a write-off. So there's almost no pressure on this lap. So let's see if this weird mental block gets lifted now that I know that there's no pressure on this lap, because I'm not going to be able to complete it with the penalty. in a decent amount of time, getting a decent line here through the S's, and actually that's really rather hooked up. It was very easy to go wrong. And through here, a bit of a lift, but a bit better than previous. So we're just a tiny bit down at this point here. Degner 1, absolutely abused the track limits. Degner 2, nicely done. And we're actually on a purple here, so we are just a fraction up on our PB. And there's time to be gained through basically most of the lap. And you see there, I gain a 10th. I'm a 10th up on my PB of a 38.1, which is so frustrating because I know that I can't complete this lap. But it just shows you that when the pressure's off, you can just deliver. It's just one of those weird things in time trial. You kind of relish the pressure or you don't. And as we served the penalty, I was more than a 10th up. So that is a hard one to take. This point here, coming through Spoon, so this is lap 24 now, we're 40 minutes into this session. And again, I'm pretty much a 10th up. I am a 10th up, but more than a 10th up here. There it is. So I could get the 37. We could get it at 37. If I can just nail this final chicane, braking just before the 100, down to second gear, back up to third. Then we go down 4 shifts. I'm going to keep in second, then to third. And I just don't get on the power early enough. And that is so frustrating. We're going to come across the line here. And it's a 38.138. I beat it by only 200ths. It was really, really annoying. That could have been the one, but it wasn't. So this time I kept in second. You see how much time I gained there? I gained like a 10th and a half by keeping in second. So second maybe works better for me. 38.1. So it's a good sign that I'm setting consistently low 138s. And this lap, I had it in the bag, but then I just completely screwed it up on the chicane. And this just tended to be this trend that I had nearly 50 minutes into this session. Lap 30 I was on here. And my mind was fried. I just couldn't do it. I'm not much of a time trialer, if I'm honest. And the most frustrating thing about all of this is that my absolute lap would have been a 37.7 if you connect all my best sectors together. It's just the difficulty of connecting a whole lap. Hooking up a whole lap around Suzuka is so difficult. But I'm still pleased with 38.1. Not a bad lap, but I could definitely go quicker. Still want to get into that 37. But there you go. A quick little run through of the Beat the Pro DLC. It's not really DLC, is it? It's just part of the game. It's just an update. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your time. And, well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for making it to the end. And I shall see you very soon in another video. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.